Chanel from BassinUSA.com. We're here with Chris Gatley, who's going to show us some of what Rapala's got coming out in 2013. Chris, what's new with the Rapala products this year?
The most innovative thing in years. It's called the Scatter Rap. We actually took the bill of the lure and altered it so it's kind of concave, and it takes a lure like a BX minnow with a different lip. Rather than having that little action that goes back and forth this way, it takes this lure out, way out to the side. And when they actually ran this at the Bassmaster Classic last week in the tank, the lure was going so far off its center line, it was clanking into the glass, and then coming back and hitting the other side. The bass were actually coming up and missing the lure and hitting the glass because they were so aggressive for it. So it's really neat. So it takes this lure and it takes it off its center line. And if you want to speed up, you can get it to go deeper and off its center line, or you can ease up a bit and it'll still come off its center line. So it really allows you to be really versatile.
You know, I know a lot of guys that like to try to make their baits do that by bending the nose and stuff, and you never get a good result like that. So to have something that's tuned where it's going to do that automatically and it controls the line, that's great, because a lot of times they can roll over, you can get adverse results that you don't want.
Yeah, this was 4 years in the making, so they really fine-tuned this lip so that it didn't roll out and then turn upside down. So now you don't have to dig this into the bottom as much. I mean, sometimes you want to do that to get dirt and stuff flying around, but it really is pretty innovative. So we have a minnow. We have a countdown version, which is the countdown version is this guy here. So if you're familiar with the countdown, it's like a size 7.
And that's just going to be a sinking bait.
It's going to be a sinking bait. And then we have a crankbait and we have a shad bait. So if you're familiar with our shad wraps, we have that as well. Now those two lures are in the Susquehanna booth because we're just trying to show the product. Sure. So no, I mean, this is a week old. This lure is a week old.
Really nice. So I like that you got the nice black hooks on there.
Yeah, it's all VMC hooks. And it was actually designed by, obviously, Rapala, but also a lot of influence from Mike and LA and a couple other guys. Very cool. So they did their homework on it.
Excellent. So, Chris, thanks a lot.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
We're here with George Acord from Susquehanna Fishing Tackle, and he's going to give us a little bit more information about the Scatter Rap and the shad, the Scatter Rap shad that Rapala's come out with for 2013. So George, can you tell us a little bit about these new lures and why people might want to look at them?
Absolutely. Basically, what Rapala's done this year is they've taken 4 of their legendary balsa bodies. They've taken their crank, which is similar to the DT series crank body. They've taken their shad, which is their shad wrap body, the legendary original minnow, and the countdown minnow. These things are very hard to come by. These 2 are in a lock and key box behind me. I don't even have the other 2 to show you right now. But what's unique about the Scatter Rap crank and the Scatter Rap series is the scatter bill, which is a very odd shaped lip, which causes this bait to have that elusive hunting type action that balsa crankbait anglers pay a lot of money for. What's interesting about the Scatter Rap series, the slower you crank them, the more subtle the hunting wandering action is. As you pick that crank speed up, you're going to get a more aggressive, wider motion to your retrieve. So you can kind of tailor them to the situations. Think cold water, warm water. Of course, in your cooler months, it's very hard to beat the shad wrap body. And then for your day in, day out, shallow water cranking, the crank body, cranking wood, cranking grass, cranking rock. Supposedly available any day now. The full Scatter Rap line is going to be available at sfttackle.com, which is a subsidiary of our company, Susquehanna Fishing Tackle. You're going to have a couple in your box for 2013.
Nice stuff. George, thanks for taking the time to talk to us about these products.
My pleasure.
All right, so you got to get down, take a look at their website, and as soon as they're available, the hot commodity item, I think it's going to be a real winner.